Perfect end to a perfect day. Manchester City 4, Manchester United 1. Oh, what a hedge! Oh, that's electrifying!
Hat-trick hunting, trick getting. Still the appetite is there for more. Oh, it is sensational!
Hello guys, welcome to the channel. I've been trying to get Ton here just to have a chat with him for a while, but he's a busy man, very busy man, and doing some good work for Man City and Man City fans, to be honest. I remember, I don't know if you remember, I remember the first time I think I ran into you, it was the transfer for Jack Grealish, and I think you remember you were saying he's coming, and you had a bit of pile on because there was Aston Villa. There was an Aston Villa guy who believed that he knew somebody in Jack's camp. I don't know if you remember this. They had a space from morning until evening celebrating the fact that Jack is gonna stay. There was a video of Jack where a kid asked him, "Are you gonna stay?" And Jack said, "I'm not going anywhere." I think he smiled, said, "I'm not going anywhere." And then I remember you spent a day fighting against the people. I don't know if you remember that. I was there, and I told people, "Can you stop flooding the man?" He gave us news here, but as always, that's what happens when you're always the guy who brings in transfer news. But how are you doing yourself? How have you been?
Yeah, really good. Yeah, thank you. I will just say, yeah, I do remember that. And one particular Villa fan, I can remember his profile pic, but I can't remember his name. And I remember Grealish being at training for Aston Villa.
Yeah.
And do you remember
And that's when people came to you, and that's when people came back to you and said, "Look at this."
All did they? All did they? But the thing is, he wouldn't really participate, and he was sat on the side. And all that was being told to all the journalists and stuff was he's going to go to City, and that's all I was doing really, repeating it, saying, "Look, you know, he's going to move to City," and Villa fans are like, "Well, he's in training," and then the next day he's in Manchester. It was one. I love stuff like that. Absolutely cracks me up. I'm
good. I'm okay. It's just that I just remember that story. I was like, that's how I think I went, because you reported that, then I think I retweeted, and I remember somebody asked me that, who is this person you've retweeted? I was like, I don't know, but they seem like they are very accurate in what they're saying. And then that happened. I was like, just people go crazy. No, I'm doing okay. I'm just going. I'm just doing gym. After this, when I'm done with this, I'll head off to the gym. Eating healthy, as I told you off camera. Now I'm with a lot of I'm drinking a lot of green teas, ginger teas, lemon teas, all these type of teas. So anyway, before I start, let me just welcome all the people in the comments. Doug says, "Good afternoon." Good afternoon to you, Doug. Sarah says, "Hello to you both." Hello to you, Sarah. Hope you're well. Obviously you're answering to Doug and you're answering to Sarah. It says, "How you doing, Patrick?" I'm doing well, Doug. So all the guys who are here, this is Blue Tone, and we all know he's the account that has grown. I think the first time I met you, you were like in 100 digits. Now you are like 40. Okay, how has that been though? Let me ask before. I know everybody is so anxious right now, saying what transfer news is he going to bring. We're going to talk about transfers later, but I also want the man. I want to talk to the man himself. So how has it been to move? I think you wrote a tweet once saying, "Oh my God, it's the account has grown." So how has that been? How have you dealt with that now?
Yeah, it's fine, to be honest. I spend a lot less time. I think to begin with, when there's less people, you can reply to everybody and so on. And now it's just not possible, as people will find who have the same and more followers or be less. But yeah, it's fine to deal with. To be honest, it grew a lot because of the team news. I think that was the thing when I used to post at the end of the season, posting team news and so on.
You were very accurate on those. Those were very, very accurate. And I know that, okay, look, there was few times, but sometimes that's what I'm saying. People are never satisfied. Like there's like I remember there was one where you posted, and I think somebody was sick, Foden was sick, or somebody was sick. Like, how can people make me laugh? How can you predict that somebody is sick? Like, then people get angry. Why is this one not in there? You're like,
Yeah, that was, I think that was Gundogan when we played Leeds at the end of the season before, and he was due to start, and Pep said after he was, and then he got removed literally about 20 minutes before. So yeah, that was that one. But we've had a couple of funny ones. So I've had a couple of little
KDB Madrid. Remember, we don't know Madrid. KDB in one of the games where I think he was taken out. One also where he was taken out, and people were like, "Where is he?" We're like, I think they just reported that he's not well.
Yeah, that's right. But I did have a little bit of a quarrel with one of the FPL guys. I can't remember his name. But one of the FPL guys said Foden starts, and I said I'd heard he wasn't, and I said Foden's not starting; he's on the bench. And then the news come out that Foden was on the bench, and I said to the FPL guy said, "Oh well, yeah, he's ill. He was starting, but he's not now." But Pep himself after the game, and I said, "No. The team after the team meeting, Foden was never starting this game." And then later that day, Pep himself come out and said Foden was never starting. So the FPL guy who'd been giving me a load of stick was suddenly very quiet. I think he blocked me straight after.
So, wait. Is that the guy you kept on going at? Every time you post, you're like, let's see what he does. Let's see what he puts out. Now it's just because you know why that's why I wanted to speak to you, because even people have to see, because I know a lot of people always jump on and say, "Oh, let's just talk about transfers." We'll talk about transfers in a few minutes. I have a few questions to ask you, and a few also for like it's the same thing as when you're doing YouTube. And this is the reason why there was a point in time I used to do a lot of transfer videos, and I did them. There was a period, I think during lockdown, I stuck to them. I looked,
Yep.
I researched, I used to check, there was a guy who used to feed me news. His account went dead, and somehow what he used to feed me sometimes used to be very accurate. So I looked very good at that point in time. But as soon as one thing is delayed, I remember the Nunes one. I said Nunes is definitely coming, and it just delayed. Boom, you get these DMs. I don't know if you get them the same. Obviously, not these DMs from these OnlyFans that I don't know. As soon as you hit 3K or a certain K, they just keep coming. These OnlyFans ones, you have to block them. But yeah, I know, and they keep coming. And you post something innocent, they just come underneath your status. Click here to see this. You're like, please go away, please go away. But I'm saying. Yeah. These I used to get messages. Why is Nunes not coming? You said Nunes is going to come. You say this is this. I'm pretty sure you get the same messages. That's why I was asking you that now with a bigger account. How do you manage them? Because I am on 3K and I still can't manage messages. I still have to go and I find it's already flooded. Yeah. When is the next video? When are you doing this? When do you like? It's not a bad thing. It's just that sometimes it becomes overwhelming and you're like, oh, how can I handle this? Now I understand why celebrities or people who are famous, obviously, don't say famous, but people who are big famous, they have a personal assistant, because some of these things are difficult to run down, to be honest.
Yeah, it is tough. But what I do is when I go onto Twitter or X, I go straight to the top. The top, and I'll read a few messages down and try and respond, but it's just not possible to keep up because there's too many. I'd be on there 24/7, which but the DM wise are, I'm not trying to sound big-headed or anything like that. You will know yourself. I get DMs every single day, without fail. There will be say, Tone, what's going on with so-and-so? Tone, what's going on with this? And if any news comes out, McAtee just now about him going to the US tour, which we knew anyway, I think. But he, it's straight away. Is McAtee staying? Is McAtee staying?
Yeah, I have that on the list of things we're going to discuss later.
Oh, okay.
The marketing, yeah, because I knew it. I saw as soon as it was posted, I already saw people going underneath. Was McAtee.
It does. It's non-stop. The Savio one, that's another one. 1st of July, he was moving, which. Throughout June, people were saying, why hasn't he moved? Why hasn't he moved? And I kept saying 1st of July, 1st of July, 1st of July. And then bang, he's moved.
That was rubber stamped by, you said it, and a lot of people said it. But it's just a lack of maybe patience, isn't it? Like, I get it. Like, look, this window, even Fab, you can see Fab. He's repeating the same stuff over and over. But you can't blame clubs because look at all these rules, people are scared. And some of these clubs look like they did each other favors. Like Juventus and Aston Villa, I think they did each other favors. I think that was just a favor to get each other off the FFP. And you can see Newcastle with some of their signings. Like, you can tell that some of these clubs are just buying from each other. But if you've noticed is they're not even buying big names. Only the big name that has moved from the Premier League is Douglas Luiz, but they've been buying academy players with each other, which is 100% profit. You know what I mean? That's 100% profit, which makes it good for you, because if you sell academies, it's pure profit. But I don't know. It's just that people have to be patient. And anyway, so that's about it. I just wanted people to know your background of how even I met you, and I remember how I remembered you, and for you to just share some of the struggles, because it's the same thing. When you're doing YouTube, no matter if you're big or small, it's just you've got people, and obviously it's not bad. You enjoy it, but sometimes, trust me, it's good. You're excited. You're on a roll. You're texting. If I get this information, I'll share it. But as soon as you dry out, sometimes, trust me, there's also a dark side to all this.
Yeah. Anything I can share, I share. Like the fixture list and all that sort of thing that sent to some people early. Just, the one from a few weeks ago, transfer news, team news, if I can. Some stuff I can't send out, but mainly I can. There's nothing really too major, can't send out. But yeah, you're always going to get a few. There was actually someone this morning who said to me, had a bit of a dig and said, last night I did a brief, and not analysis, that's the wrong word, like of where
you do a brief of where things are. Usually do that. I've seen that. Right.
Yeah, based on what we read. And somebody said, oh, you just picked that up off Twitter. And it's like, yeah, no, that's what I put. it's like, I've not just got it on my bloody phone. I've actually latest City Talk. So you're always, and anybody else who because everyone's affected differently by people who have go and trolls and whatnot. My suggestion would always be block, mute them, ignore them. You will always get people like that, I'm afraid, in life. You've just got to block and move them. To me, I just water off duck's back. Don't care. Normally, I just go back and wind them up. But yeah, everyone's different.
Yeah, you're right. Like I think I've had a few. I've had to block them. I think some people have I never knew it's football, and I never know that some people I made a joke about it, but I was here saying some people actually take it seriously. They'll go to your Facebook, they'll go and look, and funny enough, I have an Instagram that doesn't work. They'll go to Instagram, they'll find you where you work. They'll, like, one of my friends was doing YouTube, had to stop. He didn't stop, but one person actually went as far as finding where they work, messaging where they work, just because of something, just because of an opinion on football. Wow. And yeah, you're right. There's a lot of nasty people out there who wish death on people. Like, a lot of YouTubers have said it. Like, there's some nice people also there who will go as far. Very nice people. That's why it's not always negative. There's also nice people who go as far as they help you, as if you've known each other for so long. Like yourself, if like even before all this, you were still talking to people, saying your DM is always open. I think I've spoken to you most times, and you've always been genuine, and you've always supported a lot of people. So look, that's the intro. So I just wanted to ask Ton how he's doing with everything, how the account has grown. And now let's go over to a lot of people. I'm pretty sure everybody's like, where is the transfers? Where is it? I can hear, because I used to be one of them. I used to be on YouTube, and maybe there's somebody that is speaking under the degenerates, or somebody who's in the know. And I used to be in the background. I was like, when are the transfers? When are the transfers? I'm here for the transfers. So anyway, I just did a few things here, just to bear me for a minute. So I just did a few things here just to make sure that as we're talking, we can we can have it a bit organized, because I usually forget things, especially some days. I don't know why. And my mom was like, why are you forgetting things? Start writing things in a book. So we'll start here, obviously. The obvious one. So basically, he's coming, and I'm pretty sure he's staying, because I believe he's staying. I don't know about you, Ton, because a lot of people were reporting it goes on loan. I remember when I had these arguments about Alvarez, when I was so adamant that Alvarez is going to stay at City, that he's so much of a talent that he's not going. Because Alvarez, believe it or not, people, he tried at Madrid, by the way. Alvarez, that's one of the clubs he tried a long time ago. There's pictures everywhere already. And that's not information I know off my phone, or Ton knows off his phone. It's on the internet. It's right there. There's a picture of him in a Madrid jersey. But so Savio is staying, Ton. And I'm pretty sure that's even what everybody's hearing, right? There's no way he's going on loan. I'm pretty sure if look, I think there's a connection here. It's not at Girona, he was on loan. Did we sell him? We had him as a player, right? I remember we bought him with somebody, Ton. We bought him with another Brazilian. I think there was two of them. There was Savinho and somebody. I keep forgetting. I don't remember them, but they were both at the same time.
Yeah,
I don't know, but they were.
Yeah, he's at a French club, City Football Group club, and then went on loan, and now we've bought him, which Man United fans are kicking off because they think we bought him straight from Girona, which we haven't. That's not accurate. So they're all kicking off, sulking about it, despite the fact they're being told it's not true. So there's no helping some people, especially Rags. Savio, excuse me, it sounds like he's going to stay. That's the talk, unless he goes on pre-season and has a complete balls up, which it's not going to happen.
It's unlikely. And to be honest with you, a kid who is being thrown, I don't know if you've seen I haven't seen obviously I can't stay up that late, but I've seen clips. It looks like he's thrown in the deep end for Brazil, and he's outperforming the Brazilian wingers. He outperformed Vinicius. If you talk about La Liga, most people say he was the best winger. So he's outperforming Vinicius, Rafinha, who are established, and I think he's just 21 years old.
Yeah, someone was saying he got a standing ovation as well the other day when he went off, I think, or maybe at the end of the game, which is, for Brazil, which is mega with a team full of stars. So, it looks good. When there was talk of him going out on loan, I was surprised because he's already proved in a good league, very good league, La Liga, in a decent Champions League team now. Girona. that he is one of their best players. So why on earth would he need to go out and loan again? And I used to say that on with a couple of the other shows and say, why would he go on loan? He's
It didn't
done
make
it.
sense.
Yeah, stay with City, and he is staying by the sounds of it, which is brilliant because him and Doku on the wings. I mean, my God, if Pep goes that right and left, that's frightening. Absolutely frightening.
It is, and they can both play both sides, and that's what I'm saying. It never made sense. And remember, he said it himself. I remember I retweeted that because Fab tweeted it. He said he does an interview when he was at the height of his performance during last season. He said they said to me that if I perform very well, they'll take me to Man City. He said that. Remember, I think you saw that.
Yeah.
Fab said it. Says they'll take him Man City. So the kid was already told, and all he had to do is prove himself. And that's what I'm saying. It's very difficult. Because right now, if we think about it, in La Liga, he's one of the best wingers. Basically, I don't think there's many. Look, Nico is shining, but Nico isn't shining in La Liga like what he's shining in the Euro. People are only buzzing about Nico now. I know Nico is skilled. If you watch him, he's very skilled, but he wasn't performing like this. And Savio was outperforming all these guys. Let's just read here. Sammy said City want the right winger and the left back. Oh, the City want the right winger. Okay. Maybe they do. You never know. Maybe they do. Because I've always had a dream that Jack can become a midfielder. And he has said in an interview that I'd rather play a number 10. But managers have always preferred to play me left. And the left back in case Sergio Gomez leaves. We're going to talk about Sergio Gomez. Given Olise was for 45 million now, so sources come out saying we want the right winger despite having Savio. I don't know. Have you heard anything of this right winger? Because I'm surprised. Because I think we are stocked. I don't know. Maybe they are.
I don't see. Look, I'm not questioning what Sam Lee's put. He's got his sources which are good, but I don't personally see the need for a right. If Savio's here, Doku's here, Grealish maybe not on the right, but he's still a wing. He plays out on the left, which will affect the right. Bernardo, if he stays, which it sounds like he will. So no, I don't see the right winger thing. To be honest, I don't see the left back either, which even if, well, maybe if Gomez goes, they may get someone, but Gvardiol's got that place nailed down. And if there's someone that comes in, it'll be Ake. Maybe they want another one there, but
maybe because of John Stones' injuries and stuff, they want maybe Josko finally become a centre back. If I will finally see it, I don't know, because now Josko for the international team is also playing as a left back, which is I don't know. It's just, and he's too good. That's the thing, is he's too good.
Yeah, it's the Pep influence, isn't it? He's left back for City, not Leipzig, sorry, Croatia playing like you say, left back, but. I would be surprised if we get a right winger, but then it depends what we say by right winger, because I've seen people saying City might come in late for Olise, and there's Eze from Palace as well. He's been linked. I wouldn't say he's a right winger particularly, but
he plays. I think Eze plays everywhere, doesn't he? I think he plays as a number 10. He plays as a left, right, everywhere. He wouldn't be a bad buy, isn't he? I think Eze wouldn't be a bad buy because I think he's very creative.
Oh, I would love Eze at City. I know Tottenham are big fans of him. Some Tottenham chap was telling me a couple of weeks ago he thinks they'll go in for him for the release clause of 60. I would love City to get him. Yeah, he's a terrific player, and I think he'll only improve. And under Pep, yeah, he could be another quality addition for the squad. But yeah, to answer your question, no, I don't see the right winger. But then I did say last summer, and this was just my view, City won't sign a fast winger. City will not, and then they signed Doku. So I got that.
Yeah, right. I think the fast winger and the fast winger versus the more settled attacking midfielder type wingers was a debate for a while, wasn't it? I think everybody was going back and forth. We'll never see fast wingers again. Oh, it's changed. But that's Pep Guardiola. He switches things. I think that's what makes him different from everybody, because how, like, the Jack Grealish and Silva wingers, like Bernardo Silva and Jack Grealish sometimes, or Foden, the attacking, Foden was the fastest, which he's not really fast, but he was the fastest. They attack in and they break you slowly. Seemed like it worked in the treble season, and then boom, this season looks like people recognized how to lock it up again. You know what I mean? So it's very difficult. And then you see when Doku came, he was cooking, then he went quiet, and then he was brought back, and teams started fearing somebody running at them at speed, dribbling. And then that's when I think in my mind, I think that's when it clicked for me that I think Savio might actually come in and play here, because it looks like Pep is preferring Doku because they're more scared now, because every time you touch him, you drop him in the box. That's the scary thing about people like Doku, Raheem, and Sane. But obviously, as I said, it's good to have options where you can have a Jack. But I just say I wish Jack plays as a 10, because I think Jack is very creative. And I'm telling you, Ton, I don't know if it's just me. People used to think I hate Jack, but it's just my heart was broken because when he was leaving Aston Villa, I still believe, I don't know, some people will laugh, I still believe Jack is the guy who was going to take the mentor from KDB. Why I believe that is because I have seen him. I know it's Villa, but you still see what a quality is. It doesn't matter what team somebody's playing. You can still see what somebody is. I saw Jack creating like KDB, passing like KDB at Villa, and it's still in there. But as I said, he said in his interview that I play left at City because that's where the manager prefers me. But as myself, I see myself as a number 10 or down the middle. So for me, I'm still hoping, because I've seen it a few times and it works, hoping one day Jack goes down the middle when Foden maybe needs somebody to swap him with, or somebody. They can even play both of them together sometimes in certain games, and both could be very, very creative, because Jack is very creative. Or am I the only one who sees Jack as a very creative player? Am I the only one who sees that? Maybe I'm on that boat alone.
Yeah, no. I like Jack Grealish, but I mean the fact with Grealish is he's had 2 underperforming seasons out of 3, and for 100 mil you need better. It's a massive season for Grealish. This one upcoming, he has to perform this one, or they'll look to ship him out next summer. So, and he knows that. It sounds, look, it's a bit of PR, of course, but he's there early doing the working out. But he's got to do it on the pitch. It's all well and good doing that training and all the other stuff. He needs to be doing he needs a career best performance season next season. I think he'll do it. I'm hopeful he'll do it, because we all know he can play, even people who don't like him. We can all see he's a good player.
There's a talent, yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely a player in there, but he's got to be better. And it's as simple as, you've got to be honest, he has underperformed overall, but that doesn't mean he will next season. And all City fans are behind him. Of course, we want him to do well. Of course, with Savio coming in, it makes it more difficult for him to start because, like you said, Doku, Bernardo, and so on are all there, Savio. So it's going to be difficult for him. Maybe he will get a bit more time in the centre. But the problem is, you put him in the centre, you look at the players, 6, 8 or 10. You've got Rodri, Kovacic, Foden, De Bruyne, all kinds of, I'm missing loads of players. But, Nunes probably needs more time and others. So it's difficult to get in the middle of that City team. If the middle of the City team is the absolute crucial, from the centre backs to the mid.
You can't lose the ball. You can't even lose the ball on that play.
Yeah, that centre, that link has to be knockout. There's no time for underperforming in there. If you do, you don't see the pitch, and unfortunately, that's what happened with Jack. But no, I think he'll be good next season. I think he's had a kick up the arse with the England stuff as well, and I think it's much needed. I think he's needed it, and I think it'll do him good not going to the Euros and give him that kick to say, look, you're not in the England team because you've not been good enough. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, simple.
Get your shit together. Yeah.
Yeah, Oli says East Coast is 45. We should have been all over that. I think people have to be careful when this East Coast has come out. Why do you think maybe Premier League teams backed out? There must have been extra fees, sign-on fees and fees like that. But look, it's good. He's going to Bayern. But trust me, sometimes when you look at these clauses, people have to realize there's also these small fees around, and maybe that's why Chelsea backed out and said, we're not going to pay that extra sign-on fee, or we're not paying you this. All these will come out eventually. But look, I don't know. I know Olise is talented, but he's never moved me personally. It's actually Eze who moves me better. I think I prefer Eze more because he's more creative. Have you been enjoying the Euros? You want my personal one, Doug? No, it's been poor. What about you, Ton? It's been poor. I have slept a few times watching the Euros. Even France has been underwhelming, and Belgium tried yesterday. That was the first time. Look, I didn't rate Onana. I was like, why is everybody all over Onana? But yesterday I saw quality in Onana in that midfield going against Kante. going against Rabiot, which even though Kante is old, but he's still, I think, a top class midfielder. And I saw the value of Onana. But I don't know about you, Ton. How have you found the Euros? I found them boring, and I just found them that dragging. Only Spain is exciting, and Germany now is also struggling a bit.
Yeah. I think there's been a few good games. England have been terrible, absolutely shocking performance-wise. They've crept through 4.
Oh, horrible.
No disrespect to the opponents, but they're inferior opponents, and England have struggled and been very, very lucky, in my opinion, not only to beat Slovakia, but to get out of that group, because they didn't deserve to. They were not in the top 2 or 3 best teams. They're probably the worst of the 4 in terms of what they should be, the level, their level should be. So in terms of the Euros overall, there's been some decent stuff. It's been okay. I think it hopefully will improve, but France have been terrible, as bad as England, to be honest.
They've only scored one goal that was a pen. The rest are on goals.
That's outrageous, isn't it? And Portugal were poor last night. I'm not convinced with Portugal anyway, to be honest. I don't think they're that good.
Do you remember somebody said that downfall will be Ronaldo? Somebody said, some media guy, I remember it was months ago, he said if they play Ronaldo, he will be their downfall. Looks like it is their downfall. I think if they got a more mobile, younger front, like Jota or Joao Felix as a first 9, or that Ramos guy, I think they will do better than Ronaldo. So I don't know.
The problem is, you need a big manager of a big personality to drop him, and Martinez is there, isn't he? He's got an unbelievable agent. I don't know who his agent is, but he deserves a pay rise for getting in that job. If I had my money on it, well, Germany plays Spain, don't they? I would say one of those.
Yeah, they do. They do, unfortunately, before the final.
Yeah, it'd be one of those that win it if I had to put money on it. But then France are always that team that I don't think under Deschamps, I don't recall ever being blown away by them, but they just have those players, those 2 or 3 players who can just do something. When the game's tight, tense, they have people who can just win you that game. So France will be thereabouts. They don't need to play well, and they'll probably get to the final anyway.
Yeah, they don't. So thank you for the question, Doug. Sarah says so far a bit underwhelming. Hoping it will pick up. Yeah, hopefully it will pick up. I think whoever wins out of the game between Spain and Germany goes on to win the Euros. Yeah, they might, and then you might find that there's a surprise. A small team might. Well said, Ton. Do not rate Martinez at all. I don't know why Portugal have taken Martinez after what he did with Belgium. But anyway, thank you for the comments, guys. Keep the comments coming. If you've got any other questions, keep coming. So let's go on to these. To the people, or I don't know, is it evil to say undesirables? Though I'm a Sergio Gomez fan, so you know yourself, I'm a Sergio Gomez fan, so I will not say that. And then with Markety, I hope he stays, because the Champions League is going to be a very difficult format. I just feel like Markety is that talented to stay around, I think. So I don't know how old he is. Is he 22, 21? I don't know how old. Is he 22, 21? I don't know at this point in time. How old is Markety right now?
Markety age, he's 21.
21, yeah. I think you would still stay. I don't know. I think if he said I'll stay, they will allow him to stay. So let's start off with Phillips. I read somewhere that somebody's willing to give 20 million for Phillips. Would you take that?
Oh my goodness, yes. I good Lord, yes. I would offer to drive him myself for 20 mil. If we, I think that comes from Tolmy, doesn't it? Tolmy, I think, put that out. I like Tolmy. I follow him, and he follows me and stuff. And he's good for sort of City stuff. He gets a lot of flack as well, because if the people don't realise, just to very quickly divert, people don't realise with transfer stuff is that anything can change. Things change at any point. You have players getting picked up at bloody airports from different clubs, from Dembele, Barcelona, Roma thing. All this happens all the time. So and Tommy's talking from I presume from a speculation point of view with Phillips. We don't know 100% that they're going to offer 20 mil. It's just talk. So it's that sort of thing where he gets a lot of flack. He gets too much flack in the comments, but he deals with it really well and seems a really nice
I've seen. He does.
But in terms of Phillips, would I take 20? I'll be honest, I would probably take 10. I'd probably take 10 just to get him off the books.
Did you say 10?
Yeah, I would take 10. You've got to realise that he's on 150, 180 grand a week or something ludicrous for the next 4 or 5 years. So you're not only binning the fee, getting the fee, you're binning the contract and the enormous wage. 20 million, oh my God, if somebody offers that, they should sell today and get rid, because look, he seems a nice lad. The players like him. It's not worked. It's as simple as that. He's out. He's going. People are saying, "Oh, he's got pre-season.
He's coming. He's also one of the ones coming back early for training, I heard.
Yeah, that's right. But he knows he's not daft. It's just not worked. He cannot be trusted. He just doesn't understand. I think that's his big downfall. He just hasn't been able to grasp the positioning of it. I remember him playing one of his last games, and Diaz just spent half the game telling him where to stand. You just saw Diaz coming out, pointing there. And it's a shame. And then he had the disastrous loan spell at West Ham.
Oh, that was bad. I was praying. I was telling City fans that don't pray it goes bad. Pray this goes good. I don't know why some people were praying that it goes bad. It's like, pray that it goes good, because we would have got at least 30 million from that if it went good, you know?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I think if I wanted him to perform, because he's, at the end of the day, he's a City player and we want him to do well. We want him to come back to City and suddenly he's brilliant. It saves 50 mil. You know, great. We've got Rodri, but it's just not going to happen. It's been a disastrous signing.
Yeah,
I wish him all the best wherever he goes. Definitely, because he's a nice lad.
Yeah, okay. So what about Cancelo? Now he's 30 years old. I was talking to my I was talking to my friends. We were on the PlayStation chat, and they were saying, "Oh, we the United fans that would like to sign Cancelo." In my head, I was like, "Do they know he's 30 now?" But he's still quality. I saw yesterday he was one of Portugal's best players. So, like, what are we gonna do now? Because Barcelona were promising to take him. They promised him and Joao Felix. Now they're binning him off. I'm pretty sure there's no way he's staying. But you say things change in football. You never know. He might go and sit down with Pep, and they might reconcile, and you're like, oh, there's Cancelo at City. You know, I don't even know how long his contract is lasting now.
I think 3 more years, but I would be staggered if he returns. To be honest, this is one of the reasons my account kicked off, was the Cancelo stuff that I posted about squaring up to Pep in training, and I had newspapers bloody DMing me after that. Which was, that's when it really started to kick off then. But the Cancelo, I don't see it. He was with us last pre-season. He'll probably be with us this pre-season. He'll be shipped out. Someone will pick him up. He's still, even though he's a bit of trouble, he's still a good player, and he will
performed well yesterday. He was one of the best players for Portugal. Yeah.
Well, there you go. So I'll be honest, I still think Barca will come in, because I think what will happen, Barca are playing the game. Oh, we can't afford all the usual nonsense, which they can't, to be fair, because they've got no money, broke a loaner and all that. And I think they will come back in. I think a loan deal will be agreed. They'll pay his wage, and that'll be it. Because Cancelo may turn around and say, well, I'm not going anywhere. I want to go to Barcelona. No one can force him to go to Bayern or wherever else. So City, very similar to the Phillips position, are in a difficult spot, and they're not in a position where they can dictate, I'm afraid. City are in this spot where Cancelo can say, I only want to go here. I don't know if he said that. He might end up in France or somewhere, but maybe Paris. But he can dictate to a certain degree where he wants to go.
Yeah.
And City will just want him off the books, because he's on 200 grand a week or whatever he's on. Get him off the books, because you cannot have people say put him in the reserves, but why should the reserve team have to put up with his moods throughout the season? And we're paying 200 grand a week for someone just to make a point.
Nah,
it's silly. Get him out the door. He'll be gone. Yeah, he'll be gone by the end of August.
So just the first one on Gomez. I think he was being linked to a Real Sociedad, but it looks like it's gone quiet. But I don't know. And then he was linked with Bayern, saying a company wants him there. Do you see any movement, or do you see like him staying again? Because there was another article saying the city training camp advising him that staying would be a good choice. I was like, why are they advising him staying to be a good choice? Look, he's very talented, by the way, because people, believe it or not, Gomez is actually not a left back, but he's left back. He used to play as a number 10 and he plays as a winger. So it's just he was converted to a left back by Company. I think I did a video months ago about Gomez when he was coming. I said this guy is actually number 10, believe it or not. And he was at Dortmund. He was there. He came in as a winger, as a number 10. Things did not work out. So I don't know. This one, I'm pretty sure we'll see movement. I don't even think I don't know if it's been quiet. But I want to go to Markety, Ton. So Markety, Ton, do you see? I want him to stay. I don't know if it's just me. I think he's good enough as a talent to stick around. I think he is.
Yeah, just to quickly say on Gomez, he will go and we'll get the money back, I suspect, 11, 12 mil, because he's got loads of interest. Someone was telling me, 10, 12 clubs are looking at him. So Gomez is going to go. Markety, I just don't see where he gets in. I mean, we were saying earlier about a number 10 and how difficult it's going to be for Grealish to move in the centre. Now, if it's difficult for Grealish, it's impossible for Markety. Look, I like Markety. He reminds me, obviously not that level, but he reminds me of David Silva, the way he moves and stuff. He's really good, and he will be a really good Premier League, Bundesliga, whatever player. He's definitely going to be. I'm just not sure. I would either loan or permanent with a buyback, which I've heard is probably more likely, and look at it that way, and a chance to get him back maybe if he then does that next step. But in the next year or two, is he going to get game time? Probably not, even with the more games. Maybe he'll get a few, but it's not enough. He's now at 21, approaching 22. He now needs to be playing games week in, week out. And he won't get that at City. So he'll get pre-season. Hopefully he plays well. But and look, I want him. I'd love it if he stayed. I'd love after they said we're really impressed, he's in the squad. I just don't realistically. I see him going.
Okay, so that's on Phillips, Cancelo, Gomez, and Markety. So, guys, keep liking the vid, retweet, and if you want to follow Tone, you can follow him. I'm going to put this later on. I'm going to put the link to his Twitter. If he doesn't give you satisfying news, please don't go to his DM. So anyway, just a brief one. Is I don't know. This is just my personal opinion. I think Ederson is staying. I think it's all about money because Ederson when he signed for City, signed this 7-year, 6-year contract, and I think he's on very less money than most keepers, even less money than Pickford, believe it or not. And then Bernardo Silva, we know that his clause has expired. That's what somebody said. It's expiring or it's expired. De Bruyne keeps flirting with Saudi, but it looks like he's just messing about. De Bruyne is well sarcastic about it. But where do you see Walker? That's who I want to focus on amongst these four. Because this is the odd guard. Let's call this the odd guard. Walker, I don't know. Personally, I think his time is up. I think his time was up. This season wasn't that great. He had moments. I know he's our captain, but he was exposed a lot. And you can see for England, even the goal, the seed, he was walking back. He's actually started walking back these days. And I said it to somebody off camera that I saw him this season walking back instead of running. And then most people have even videos where they're analyzing him, where it's him who puts somebody onside instead of getting back on off to get them over the offside trap. Where do you see Walker? Do you see him staying? Do you feel like most people are saying City better start looking for another right back, or maybe a Akanji play right back?
I don't know about that one. Walker, he's telling people he's staying. And somebody asked him at the end of the season, and there's talk from the England camp, I can't remember the journalist's name, that was basically saying he's talking like he's going to be in next season or at City next season. So the talk is that there is Saudi interest, so that may change his mind when they offer him, 400 grand a week or whatever it's going to be. That could change it. I'll be honest. Look, in terms of Walker, because I don't want to be too harsh, he's one of the best signings we've had under Pep. If you list
he is top. Maybe even number one for what he's done to us. I know people say Like if you talk about under Pep, yeah, he might be number one because my God, he's saved us a lot of times.
Yeah, definitely. So when I'm about to go on to a bit of criticism, I bear in mind that up to this point, he's been one of Pep's best. He had a poor season last season. His mouth hasn't helped him in interviews and things. He just doesn't seem to know how to conduct himself. Look, I respect the players that speak their mind and the ones that are not so much media trained or don't provide those answers, because a lot of them, like Harry Kane, are trained so well they just say the same bloody thing, but slightly
Yeah,
different.
Kane seems to be programmed the same way all the time.
Yeah, to be honest, 90% of them are. You'll get the odd one who comes out and goes, "No, I don't want any of that. I'll speak my mind." And Walker does to a degree. The problem is what he's saying isn't helping him.
I
So
know.
is not great, the off-field stuff, and that's reviewed on more now because he's the captain, or he was the captain. We'll see if that changes. But Walker, I think, look, the signs say he'll stay. I think maybe he'll stay this year and then go to Sheffield United or something next year. But he's been poor. He was very, very poor last season. He's probably, I'm sorry to say, the poorest player in the squad, certainly in that bracket, way underperformed. I'll be honest, if there was money on the table, 20 mil, somewhere around that, I would probably move him on and then look to get somebody else in as a right back if it's me. I think now you touched on it. I think now is the time for Kyle Walker to move on.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So anyway, let's keep moving on and keep this short. So what? So here, it looks like there was 100 million in this close, which is our special. The Tiki is special. Is special at doing this. He's a specialist at doing this. But there was a lot of people in the background saying maybe people want triggered, including Arsenal, who are looking at him. PSG. People did not really see the 100 as the amount. Look, let's be fair. If we're being fair, he's a 60 million, 50, 70 max player. But obviously, with this market, they want to push it. Now, the new financial year started yesterday. I have this other feeling. I just keep having a feeling. Not that I know somebody who told me. I just have a feeling that some people might actually start bidding for the sake of it. Just bid underneath the 100. Have you heard anything, or do you see that maybe that my theory might be true, that you might actually see people, or maybe Newcastle are so comfortable now that like we're going to keep him? Because let's keep in mind, Newcastle have bought a 19-year-old, 20-yeld DM, by the way. Yeah. They bought him, Fab, I think, posted. How do you see this? Was City truly interested in Bruno, or it was just hearsay?
Oh, no, yeah, there's definitely interest. That's legit interest, but not enough to go formal with the 100 mil. That's overvalued. Excuse me. Look, there's definite interest there. City like him a lot. Pep likes him a lot. That's been reported. It's just now Newcastle are in a position where they can say, well, we want 150 million now. And if that's what they do want, fair enough. They're entitled to do that. I think the only way this happens is if he himself, Bruno G, says to Newcastle, I want a move. I'm requesting a move. And I had heard that if he was to move, he'd only move to City. Otherwise, he'll stay at Newcastle. Arsenal and Paris, no go unless Newcastle want to sell him. But his choices were City, Newcastle, and then the rest. So if City come back in, yeah, maybe. Do I see it happening? It's possible. I just think he's Newcastle's best player. And if City do come back in, it's because Bruno's given indication that he wants to move. It's really difficult to know.
It is, and that's how we always move. We always move when the player gives indication. Remember Nunes? Because what Nunes did is what Kane had to do. I know Kane tried to hide in America, but I think he didn't go to the extremes. But what Nunes did, I think, is what City want to see, Because let's not forget, Nunes was about to be blocked, and they were blocking the price, and they had to reduce the price because Nunes said, "I'm going to City. I want to go to City. I want to leave now. I've done enough here." I think that's maybe you're saying that's the path he has to go for this to work.
Yeah, that's right. He has to formally ask to move or make it clear that I want to move. I want to go and play for Pep and City and Champ League and so on. But Look, he's at a good club that are trying to come on the rise to the Champ League. I like Newcastle, and I got money on it. I would probably say we won't go in because I just don't think Newcastle need to sell. And he has said he's happy there. Okay, he's going to say that anyway, but I don't see it happening, but I hope I'm wrong because I would love it.
Yeah. Do you know, John? Sorry for cutting you. I'll never believe players again about I'm happy after Fabian Delph. Remember Fabian Delph? that was. I don't know if you remember that transfer. That was the funniest thing ever. I obviously Aston Villa fans will get pissed off. Aston Villa fans must hate us. We keep going to get the captains. If you notice that, we keep going there shopping for their captains. And I remember when Fabian Delph said, "I'm happy here." Grealish said, "I'm happy here," and boom, you move on. So that's on Bruno. Hopefully, I don't know. For me personally, I just feel like I know there's a report saying City are happy with the squad. What worries me is this, Tony. They are, and the fact that maybe Kovacic and Nunes or somebody can play when we're playing a team that's not as strong. But I feel like things are changing now. I even saw us even in those games where teams are not as strong. We struggled last season where, yes, we had Kovacic. He played very well. He played very incredible. But sometimes we struggled as long as Rodri's presence is not in the midfield. We sometimes also got counted so easily, even with Rodri in the team. So I just felt like Bruno, somebody who's very physical, like Fernandinho. We needed somebody more physical, somebody fast. And I think, let's be honest, if you throw next to Rodri, nobody's going anywhere. That's the thing, is nobody's going anywhere. So that's why I was so keen on this. But anyway, let me move to the transfer that you personally love. And it looks like all the reports from Germany say he's going and Bayern want him gone because he's not renewing his contract. And his contract expires in 2025 and they don't want to lose him on a free. And according to most of the reports, even Fab said it in his own live, say Kimmich is most likely to leave. Are City interested? Because there was an interest where they're saying he wants to go to City, Arsenal, or somewhere. But I think this would solve us a lot because this also solves the right back position. You know, I know he's 10 in 30, but he can tack into midfield. It also solves our midfield situation.
Yeah, quite right. This would be a perfect signing. A few years ago, he was my favourite player. Full stop. He was, and he's still brilliant. He's an outstanding player. The only thing that makes me question it is he's 29, which is not. It's not old in his position, and he uses his brain. He's not particularly fast.
Yeah,
he's a brain player, so he could go 4 or 5 years at least at the top. So that, I guess, that's not a massive issue. He will want huge sums of money. Bayern,
he will.
Yeah, but even though he's got a year left, Bayern are going to want around 50, I suspect. I know somebody said 25. That's not happening in a million years. It'll be at least double that. There's no way he's going anywhere for under 50 mil, even with a year left. Or I'd be surprised. Kimmich, I'd love Kimmich, like you said, sorts the right back out, helps Rodri out. Rodri can even sit out every now and again. Kimmich come in. The drop-off isn't as immediate as it is right now.
It won't be big,
Yeah, so this to me is a no-brainer. I would have this. I know City Luke and Martin Mancunian Way and those lads love the thought of this transfer, and I'm on board with them. This would be an excellent signing. City like him. Pep loves him. Again, very similar to Bruno G. There's interest, but there's nothing concrete yet. There's nothing there. But to be fair, he's away with Germany, and he doesn't have an agent, I don't think.
And you have to call him. You have to call him directly. You have to speak to him.
Which I don't. I would imagine he's said, and I don't know this, but he said, "Don't contact me during the Euros," which is fair enough. He's focused, and that's what you would want as a player. So. Do I see this one happening? I think there's more chance of this than the Bruno G one. Yeah, right now I would, but I expect as soon as we finished on here in an hour, it'll break that we've just bought Bruno G. So
that's happened before. Where you do a stream and you say something, then boom, something happens, and people are like, "Oh, but you said this." Yeah, but so that's the Kimmich one, and the thing, same thing. I'm with you. You know, we're gonna close it in a few minutes. But I appreciate all the guys who are watching on Twitter, all the guys who are watching on YouTube. I really appreciate it. Blue Shades of Blue says, "What's up, lads? Guys, go subscribe to Shades of Blue. One of my close friends. He's from America. He's doing very good work at the moment with the Euros. Big up to him. Go subscribe to them. They're also on Twitter and they're also on YouTube. Go support them. This is the one also for me, it's age. It's just that I'm like, okay, Kovacic is 30. What do we do with Kovacic then? Because for me, if you bring Kimmich, I know it's bad to say. I'm looking at, I know people are like Nunes. No. I'd rather keep a 26-year-old, you know what I mean? Nunes, who's got potential, than a Kovacic, who's also 30. Why should we have like two 30-year-old midfielders? Am I wrong to say that? But Kovacic has been incredible. But am I wrong to say that? It's just the fact that it's also the age. I get it. People be like, but it's Kimmich. But I'm just saying, if we're bringing another one who's about to turn 30, and then we have Kovacic in there, because Kovacic, for me, as I said, I always wished he came younger to City. He came at a younger age, but it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, no, I like Kovacic. I think he's a terrific player. He's one of those that is never really rated by anyone other than the teams he plays for. Because when he was at Chelsea, it was, yeah, he's all right. You know, when he was elsewhere, I can't remember, Real Madrid or wherever.
Madrid,
if you ask anyone else, they'd be like, yeah, you know, he's decent, he's okay. And at City, I think he's actually had a very good season overall. His injuries have knocked him, which is a shame. But I was saying on LB that, you know, if I look at the top player performances of the season, the top 10, Kovacic is in 2 or 3 times, twice in Newcastle. He was outstanding. So I like Kovacic a lot. In terms of him or Nunes, if Kimmich comes in, I'm struggling with Nunes. I want him to stay, but I'm very concerned with the lack of time. Now, people say, oh, well, it's his first season under Pep. But he's not played anywhere near enough, not even for a first season under Pep. We've seen glimpses of it, Club World Cup or whatever it's, Championship, whatever it's called. He was good. In fact, it's arguably our best player. So there's glimpses, little signs from Nunes. And I think he'll stay anyway. But yeah, if we get Kimmich in, I think somebody's got to go. People will point to Bernardo, perhaps, because it sounds like Bernardo will stay. But that
it looks like Bernardo is staying. Yeah, you're right. And you know what? Nunes was actually our best player in the Club World Cup. I remember he was the one who was shining there. He did very well. So he says, Eddie's a Mancunian way therapy. I keep saying Mancunian way. Mancunian therapy says Joshua Kimmich is ready to consider transfer out of Bayern if no agreement is reached. The Premier League could be a destination for him. Many clubs have him on their list if he decides to leave. Oh, that's very good. So you know what? We're going to leave it there. So Ton, I'll let you go, but thank you very much and I appreciate it coming, guys. If you want to hear about Ton, how he started off in his account, the account behind Blue Ton, you can go at the beginning of this. We had just a personal interview just to speak on struggles and how obviously he went to a small account to a big account just within a short while, and how he's been dealing with it. You can even listen to that. Then after that, we talked about all the transfers, who's staying at City, who's leaving, who just wants a contract extension. Like, I just feel Eddie is crying for a contract extension because we signed him on a 6-7 year Chelsea type deal when he first came. So he's not making more money than some keepers that he's better than. So I'm pretty sure he wants his money. And I don't think City are going to allow Eddie to go anywhere. De Bruyne keeps flirting with Saudi, but you know, he's being jokey when he says it's for my family, friends, and everybody in the neighborhood. It's just jokes, I think. So for him, Walker, does he stay or does he move on? Bernardo Silva, I don't know. People keep saying his clause has expired. We also spoke about Bruno Guimaraes. I don't know if it's hope in my heart. I still feel like somebody's going to bid for him. You're going to see a bid of 60-70 and see if Newcastle are willing to negotiate, or maybe they're not, because now they've started selling the academy kids that are started buying younger players. And then we spoke about Kimmich, who Ton would love to see at Man City. And I'm pretty sure I would also love to see at Man City, because if Kimmich walks in, I am telling the UCL to just write that Man City is winning the next UCL, because I think he's that good of a player. Anyway, thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much, Ton, and all the guys watching. Sarah, Kapi, Doug, everybody in the comments, Zahib, everyone in the comments, everyone who was watching on Twitter, thank you very much. And Ton, do you have anything to say to the people before you go? Any shows? Any shows? And by the way, when is the is it Blue Balls? If I remember right, sure. Is it ever coming back? You know, I've asked you so many times.
Firstly, thank you to you for having me on. It's been a really good show, and hopefully I can come on with you again soon. Thank you to everyone who watched as well. I've seen the number on Twitter just come up, which is amazing. I'm talking, I did that with Laura, who I know Laura away from this. So we may do, we're on about doing something soon, and a Spaces with Martin, Mancunian Way, and all that sort of thing. So I'm on the Not in My Lifetime one at 6 o'clock. So that'll be good. And I'm on a couple tomorrow, I think, and one Thursday or Friday. I lose track.
You have the list on Twitter anyway. People want to go check. He has the list on Twitter. He's very, very busy man. That's why I told him he needs to get an agent. Maybe I'll become his agent.
Yeah,
then you don't have to quote on. You don't have to quote on like Kimmich. You have to call and we negotiate. We put a risk clause in his contract too. Anyway, Ton, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yes, we will do another show. I'm pretty sure a lot of news will come in. Let's not forget, people. I know it's been quiet, but the 2 weeks have been up since last week for City and Prem talking to each other about the sponsorship deals. So I'm pretty sure, let's say they're going to keep it quiet. Looks like it is going to be kept quiet because there's nobody who knows what has come out of that. But I'm pretty sure Arsenal will find a way to leak that news to everybody, as always. But anyway, I appreciate it very much. Thank you very much, Ton, and have a great day. To all the people, appreciate it. Enjoy your Tuesday. See you.